Hello there, righteous fire lovers. I'm back with another video. This time about the RF scepter you should aim for when you are done using the one I taught you to make for under ADC in my first video of the crafting series. Link to the video in the description. The truth about righteous fire scepter crafting is that anything less than what I am about to show you is a waste of currency, except some specific item snipes and lucky annuls, and everything better goes for 200x plus. So for most of you this will be the best righteous fire weapon you will ever craft. Here are 3 examples of which I'm gonna show you each crafting process using the Craft of Exile emulator and the simulator, so you could get a grasp of what are the odds of getting a specific fire damage unveil. With everything out of the way, let's start with the one that isn't fractured. As usual, we're gonna start with an opal scepter base. First of all, we're gonna aim for the damage over time T1 using alts and augments. The odds of hitting T1 damage over time on an 82 level item level scepter base is 1 in 426. After we get the damage over time multiplier T1, we're gonna regal, hope for a prefix. If we don't get a prefix, we are forced to beastcraft suffix to prefix and hope it hits the strength or the other suffix you'll get. This time we missed. We missed again. This time we succeeded. Based on the cost of re-rolling with alterations and augments, you could consider imprinting the scepter at this stage, so you could roll back if you somehow don't get a prefix at the first regal or the suffix to prefix fails. Now that we are done with making it rare with the damage over time multiplier T1, I'm gonna show you some tricks of getting fire damage +1 to fire spell gems. We're gonna start with crafting multi-mod. Cannot roll attack modes, and the suffixes cannot be changed as a prefix. Once we are in this stage, we're gonna use the Veiled Chaos, hoping for the fire damage unveil with no other prefixes. We got the fire damage on our first try, but on average, doing a million actions simulated, the average is 1 in 9 to unveil the fire damage as a prefix. So on average you are gonna use 9 suffixes cannot be changed with a Veiled Chaos to get this unveil, and in 33% of the cases you're gonna have at least another prefix on the item, making it harder or impossible to work with. I'm gonna show you the case in which I get another prefix. For example, let's say we got T6 physical damage. We're gonna need to craft suffixes cannot be changed again and pray for the 1 in 3 annul, because it's cheaper than re-rolling again for the fire damage, and hope for the best. If we annul the suffixes cannot be changed, we can craft it again and attempt the annul again, as I was saying. We missed this time. If we missed, we go again with the unveil. If you get both prefixes with the fire damage and the item is full, I would recommend harvest, reforge, keep suffixes, so you can craft suffixes cannot be changed again and do the Veiled Chaos again, because annulling brings us back too far. Unveil prefix, look for the fire damage. We got lucky again, and let's say this would happen like one every 9th unveil. After get here, we craft fire damage to spells. We go on TFT or find some friend that has an augment fire for us. We're gonna augment fire. It's 100% for +1 fire spell skill gems. After this, we have to sadly remove the crafts. And after we removed all the crafts, we're gonna put again multi-mod, but this time we're gonna craft fire damage over time and damage over time prefix. And the item is done. After doing the simulations and steps, this is what you will end up spending. This with 15x on the augment fire. With all the reforged keep suffixes, the suffixes cannot be changed. Replacing the multi-mod once, it's gonna cost you around 24 exalts for the benchcraft multi-mod, and suffixes cannot be changed, cannot roll attack modes, and so on and so forth. I hope you enjoyed the item. This works very well if you somehow get your hands on a rune dagger, a wand, or a scepter with an amazing synthesized implicit, like explode, fire damage, which is bigger than this elemental damage, or any combination of those, but it needs to be item level 82 or above in order to roll the T1 damage over time multiplier. Now that the first scepter is done, let's focus on crafting the +1 to level of all fire spell skill gems. It's gonna start with auging and alterationing into the tier 1 damage over time multiplier. It's gonna take you around 500 alteration and around 100 augs to hit it. After we got the damage over time multiplier, T1, we're gonna hope for a prefix on a regal. If we didn't hit a prefix, we're gonna hope for a suffix to prefix, and that would hit the suffix, the accuracy in our case. We got lucky and we won the 50-50. In this spot, we're gonna craft multi-mod together with cannot roll caster modifiers, because this is the cheapest craft we can block the suffixes with. And then on the prefix, we're gonna craft suffixes cannot be changed. In this spot, we're gonna veil chaos until we unveil fire damage. We got lucky here, but in the case that you got another prefix with this, sadly you're gonna have to reforge keep suffixes with harvest and do the entire process of suffixes cannot be changed, veiled chaos, to hit the unveil fire alone. We missed, we craft again, suffixes cannot be changed, unveil, until we hit the desired fire damage unveil. Once we got the fire damage unveil alone, together with the +1 fire, we have to remove the multi-mod and the other crafted mod, the cannot roll caster, and we're gonna have to multi-mod the fire damage over time multiplier and the damage over time crafted prefix. And the craft is done. Now let's go to the final base of which I consider it the best base because it's gonna allow us to get the most out of the fire damage we can have on an item. The same, we're gonna alteration and rogue until we get the T1 damage over time multiplier. After we get the T1 damage over time multiplier, sadly we cannot imprint for the regal. We somehow got lucky and got a prefix. If we didn't, we had to prefix to suffix and hope we kept the damage over time, else we had to put it on again and try the regal for the 2 open suffixes. Once we are here, most of the heavy lifting is done. We're gonna craft multi-mode. Cannot roll attack modifiers. We're gonna harvest craft, reforge keep suffixes until we only have the fire damage as the prefix. You could also annul before crafting these in order to get the physical damage or the prefix or the suffix off and only have the suffix and the fracture prefix. After we got the 2 free prefixes, we're gonna craft the fire damage to spells. And we're gonna search on TFT or ask a friend for an augment fire. The +1 fire to all spell skill gems is guaranteed. After this craft, we have to remove the crafts and craft damage, the multi-mode, fire damage over time, and damage over time. And the craft is done. I hope this helped you in your RF Scepter crafting journey. For those of you who are still here, I wanna say I really appreciate it. And if somehow the video helped you in any way, I would like to hear about it in the comments. If you are looking forward for the next currency making strats or righteous fire crafts, leave a like and feel free to subscribe. Thank you, and I hope that every prefix unveil is the fire damage one.